think I'm at like a weird angle right now. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic. Super sexy haul. I was going to say, why do I have a giant bunch in my hair? It's a dooflicky. It's a hat day, what can I say? I think I have more hairballs for my own hair than my cat's. Where was I? Trying to do my thing. Yes. Shopping. Spare grandmother. Wanted to go shopping again. Got extra stuff. There you are. So, this is what I collected this week. Now, the first thing I got was something that... There's this lady in the stacks there. And our particular Goodwill is really, really tiny. And there's no room for two people to walk, you know, if one's on one side of the stack, you literally have to, like, butt touch to get past each other. Well, if you got a stupid carriage, you're blocking the entire section, and it really pisses me off. Because there's ways you can do it, like leave the carriage at the end and then browse the stacks, you know, it's like, they're just rude with the carriages. I don't know. Anyway, so she's there with the carriage, and I'm like, you know, squeezing my way around, looking at the t-shirts. And this woman just had this, like, air of, like, I hate everybody, you know, it's like, just a really horrible attitude. Even though she didn't say much or anything, she just had that look on her face, like, so I'm like, yeah, whatever, screw you. You know, I'm here to shop, so I'm not dealing with you. So I'm sitting there, looking at her, and I pick up this t-shirt, and I actually laughed out loud. And I don't know what her reaction was, if she was like, what the f... But, it was this. For someone like me with a ball for a head, I'm round in so many places, it's disturbing. So, yeah, I'm in shape, round is a shape, and it is so true. So, with my little hobbit body, yes. And this originally came from a store that's no longer in business. Now, I don't know how far out west Steve & Barry's ever was, if it was just a New England thing or East Coast thing. But they had a lot of neat stuff, but you felt not necessarily that they're cheaply made. It's a nice sturdy shirt, all 100% cotton, you know. But the store always reeked of tire. that tire smell, that rubber, you know, hot rubber. I don't know how else to, you know, if you smelt a brand new tire, that's what it smelled like. The entire store was permeated with it. So much so that when this place went out of business, the scent still lingered in the other business. So it was like in the entire, you know, nooks of the actual store, not just the product. Because there was one in Hadley that I'd gotten things out of too. And most of it was from that fake leather, which is what polypropylene, polystyrene, I don't know, no, polystyrene's, no, it's cups. That fake leather that's made out of, you know, tire. That's what 90% of the jackets are made out of. But they're really cool jackets. And they were comfortable too, but they just reeked so much of rubber. So it was kind of funny to me when I looked at the tag and I'm like, no, ode to Steve & Barry's. And some of our furniture came from Steve & Barry's. When the place went out of business, they have, and you've seen it in previous videos, my desk there. Are you trying to escape? There you go. Well, what is now my desk, but my display that was over here that I kept my crafts in because there were, you know, little nooks, but they were really deep, so you had to remember what was behind everything. So we got the actual displays from Steve & Barry's as well, so it'll recognize the thing. Well, the prices were pretty good too, I mean, but it was like, it felt cheap without actually being cheap. I don't know, it's hard to explain. But lo, they are now no longer in business. Next thing I got that same day was something I was actually kind of eyeballing, or wanting to get another of. Now I have two, I guess they're bathrobes. They're like a terry cloth robe, but I don't understand why you would need these things. For me, you take your shower, dry off, you get dressed. Why you would need an outfit before the outfit, I don't understand. Is there like, I have no idea. To me, it's a useless piece of, you know, clothing. But they're really comfy and soft to go to bed in, and I have two of them. And One is just plain black, but it's got a hood, and it's a little thinner. And the one I'm using right now is this one, which is incredibly ugly. You know, just dabbing a little bit of black just does not make anything like this look attractive. It just doesn't. Both of them came from my mother, I think, for Christmas one year and Christmas another year. So that is why they're as hideously ugly as they are. This one's really soft and thick, but it has no hood. Well, I wanted to marry the two together, a nice soft thingy with a hood. Now, I just wear t-shirts and shorts to bed, or pants or whatever, depending on the weather. If it's ever warm, maybe shorts. And I would wear this over that. Now picture the scene. Here I am laying in bed. You know, t-shirt, pants. This, if I have the other one, hood over my head, gloves on, gloves in pockets. The temperature in the room is 91. And I am perfectly happy. I am not kidding. And I have, it's 86 now. In this particular thing, I have, you know, my little clock, and it has like a thermometer on it. And the first time, you know, I got up, I'm happy as a clam, warm and toasty, hood up, tied, gloves, you know, which is one reason I got the hat, basically, to go with this. And I just like, well, I'm nice and warm, I don't want to get up. Look at the temperature. It was 91 degrees Fahrenheit in this room, or the room. And I just sort of started laughing, and I'm like, I've always been, people have always said I was always part snake and cold-blooded, because if there's a heat source, I'm there. You know, I would be in an oven and happy, you know? So I just started laughing, because I could hear everybody like, yep, I told you, you're cold-blooded, you're part lizard. So yes, if it's too cold, I go into torpor, which is why my videos are so boring, because it's so cold, and you just don't have the energy to do anything. Because it's like, but that is why I got this. And it's nice and toasty. It has a nice color, so you do kind of cuddle up with it. But this one has like a stupid function. It has a loop on the side. Fine. Only on that one side. But you have, nope, I lied. There's another loop here. So this must have had a belt. Okay. But it has a ribbon. There's no ribbon on the other side to tie it together. So I kind of just tie it through the other loop, and it's like, who the hell designed this thing? This one originally came from Kmart, so did the other one, I think, but, so it's not too bad. So I wanted to have another one with a hood. So I found this one, which is even more ugly than the other one. Now the belts are kind of useless to me, really, but, Of course, the black one zips up, so that was nice. This one, unfortunately, does not. And it's a little thinner than that one. And this one came out of Kmart. No, I lied. This one came out of Walmart. Because that's no boundaries. And their stuff's kind of cheap. Extra large polyester 15-17. So I'm assuming this is a kid's thing. 15. Extra large 15-17? That doesn't make sense. But again, you know how I love it. I love sizing. Anyway, even if it's a good thing, it'll fit. But this one is, again, nice and soft, but kind of thin. But it has a hood. But no drawstring for the hood. And it's got pockets, which is nice, again, the thing. But I took the belt off, because it's just a pain in the butt. And again, the ribbon. What the hell's the point of this ribbon? Am I missing something? There is no ribbon on the other side. What is this supposed to tie? It's got a belt. I don't know. But this, hideous as it is, should keep me nice and toasty. So that was that. And this, normal price is only $3. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, no, because it didn't really specify what these type of things were, just the nightwear. So I'm like, okay, I thought maybe it'd be like $5 or something like that. $3 normally. It was half off, $1.50, because it was a yellow tag. So, I mean, even $3 or something like that's like, wow. I'll do the clothes first and save, you know, cool stuff last. Now these things I got yesterday with my spare grandmother. And I had seen this particular thing a few times, so it's probably been there maybe a month or two. I don't know. I've just sort of wandered past it. Kind of liked it, but I'm like, nah, I don't know, it's sleeveless, I don't know. But of course in the middle of winter you're not exactly thinking summer stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, it was there. It was half off again. So this was receipt. This was a $1.50 because the short sleeves are $3. We're referring to tag here, and it is this. Colors are. The only thing coming up colors it looks like is my hair. What the heck? Can you even? Okay. Because I'm looking at the screen here and I'm like, why is it looking like black and white all of a sudden? It's, you know, black and white, but nice red. It's hard to figure out which way's up here, okay. It's just a sleeveless, like, sweater type material with a super wonderful turtleneck, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. But I thought it was kind of neat. And I love, you know, black and red, obviously, are my two favorite colors. And, I don't know, white's kind of okay, you know, sort of. So maybe it'll be early spring if I can ever see warmth. It is now officially spring, yet we're still dealing with snowstorms. So, I have yet to wear that, so we'll see. Though I suppose people use this as like vests too, don't they? And like wear shirts underneath. But I'm just far too lazy to put on extra clothing. So that was that. Now this, Now this particular item, I was just sort of traipsing behind, you know, Grace. And the kids sections butts up against the like housewares. So she was looking at curtains and stuff like that. And in the kids section was a coat. And it's just a denim jacket, and I'm like, for some reason, it was on the, you know, like very end between the two different racks, so it, you know, it stuck out, and I saw 3 on it, and I'm like, it's kind of strange, you know, and it was kind of, and it was different enough to kind of catch my attention, so I pick it up. And the way the 3 was stylized, is what kind of caught my attention. I don't know if you can pick this up here. So I'm like, kind of wondering, I wonder, you know, it's a not spray painted, airbrushed, you know, thing. I'm like, could it be? Indeed it was! Pick it up, and I noticed actually the back first. And then I saw this on the sleeve. I'm like, oh, that is so freaking awesome. Now, I don't know how unique anything like this is. If, you know, they go by a pattern, or I never had anything airbrushed at all. There's a place in our mall that does that, but a lot of times there's always like 2 or 3 different places at like our local fairs, like Woodstock and Big E. At some point I'd like to vlog at, but being this year was not, you know, this last year was not all that wonderful, kind of got screwed out of all that. Anyway, but then I turned it over and saw, and saw this. And I'm like, there's no way this is going to fit. You know, I'm like, crap. But it fits, even though it says, and this came from Old Navy originally, the original, you know, denim jacket. And it's 8 and 9. So, but, you know, but it fits me. There's plenty of room. But the sleeves are kind of, they go up to like here. But on me is awesome because usually they're that far too long. So it's like, so I don't have to like push up the sleeves. They're like already in a good position. So the size is like perfect for someone like me. But the I personally would have gone with this, you know, standard number 3. But I just thought that was really cool. And it's just the the American flag on a stock car, really. Has a good wrench, and it's a really good job, actually. I'm very pleased with the artwork. So I pick it up, and it goes children's jackets, $5. I'm like, that's what I would consider a unique piece, anyways. I don't know how many people are wandering around. There's not something you can buy off the shelf. You know, this was something somebody actually hand did, you know. So I'm like, you know, I'd just like to have that. You know, it'd be, you know, good to, you know, wear to the race or whatever, you know. You know, in my junior shirt, my, you know, jacket, it'd be perfect. But I'm like, okay, $5, not that bad. So, you know, go to check out. There was no tag on it. The little duplicate. I'm like, oh, there's no tag. And I'm like, crap. Well, I got it at the kids section. Dang it. Because I don't know if they're supposed to sell it to you or anything like that. But, I mean, if you know what it is, I mean, you know what to charge. But I got it for $2. Yay. So, it worked out. So, it was meant to be mine. So, but when you see something like that, for me anyways, I'm always curious of the story behind it, like who had it originally, and you know where, you know, I just like the, you know, it's interesting to wonder what the history of that particular garment is, especially the more unique it is. So it's neat, but I hope they know that I'm another Earnhardt fan appreciates it. I also don't know what it costs to have anything airbrushed. I don't know. I figure it goes by the piece. I don't know. Ology Wizards. Was that it? For the clothing? I guess it was. Okay. Well, I guess so. Now, the next things I got, again, one for each day. And, of course, I haven't posted that one yet. That's coming up about my slight technical problem with the shoes there, which I'll probably eventually just toss, even though I like the shoes. It's like, you know, if that one went, I don't want to go through, the, you know. So, I'll toss them, which makes room for more shoes. So I'm going there, and these have probably been there for a month, too, you know. Usually when you see something and you're like, I don't know if I want it, it's gone, you decide you want it, but these are still there. Now, these are, again, in this kids section. And they looked big enough, but I didn't have any shoes on, so I could, like, try them on. So I'm like, okay, well, I got sneakers. I can easily take them off and try them on. And they were these. So I tried them on. They fit perfect. And these were 7.5. And these are Airwalks, and these are leather. Now, I couldn't find these exact ones online because, you know, I always like to find... I'm familiar with the brand if they're, like, fancy. I'm always, you know, how much are they normally? And these, what I could find of them were, like, $20, $30, which is still, you know, a lot for a pair of sneakers. But these were half off. But they had marked them up to $5, so technically they were $2.50, even though shoes usually are 50 cents. I mean, $3 anyway. So I kind of only saved 50 cents if you kind of look at it that way. But they're nice and comfy. Now I looked at them and I'm like, well, I kind of like them, and you know, they're a nice shoe. And you know, at least leather, you know, will hold up a lot better than a lot of the cheap canvas stupid sneakers. But I wasn't too keen on like the yellow. But I had an outfit that worked perfectly with these. So, but I thought they were kind of neat, anyways. And again, they're Airwalk. I don't know if that's the company or does some other company make them and this is just that. I have no idea. I think I have another pair. I think they're Airwalks too that I got from the Goodwill. They're like purple skulls and stuff like that, which probably made it in a haul. But they're a nice shoe, and even the insides match the outsides there. So, but the funny thing is, I'm more prone to wear sneakers in the winter and boots in the summer. Because, you know, because that's how I roll. But, I wear warmer clothes, obviously, in the winter, which would be like jeans or whatever, and boots, you just lose the boot. I want to see my boots, so in the summer I can wear like skirts and my leggings, and you know, the boots are like part of the outfit. So sneakers you just throw on and go whatever. That's usually my plan. Now, the last thing was something I got yesterday. Now, I usually don't hunt for any particular type of brand. I've mentioned that 10 million times already. But, you know, it might catch my eye because I'm familiar with it. And I saw these. Now I saw them because they were red and black and white, which was funny because I picked up that shirt I just saw you, so the outfit was complete, basically. And I'm like, oh, Nike, okay, kind of a nice shoe, but I just like the shoe itself. And these are 5Y, so it's a size 5 kid shoe, I guess. So these are like a boy shoe. I'm like, oh, cool, Nike, you'll see. But I like and these were marked up to $6 because they were Nike. So I'm like, okay, but I like them. So I go and, try to find out what they are and, how much they might have been worth. It's just fun to do. Couldn't find anything about them because they're fake Nikes. I'm like, because there's like different codes on here and I couldn't find any of the codes. There's a UPC symbol, not an SKU, unless that's on the box. Of course, this didn't come in the box, Goodwill. Then there's an obscure number, and supposedly parts of the number are supposed to be the date, but of course, I don't know. So I'm going through, couldn't find it, and I'm on, not Wikipedia, but one of those obscure, places where you could put, explanations of things, eHow or something like that. Just sort of stumbled across one of those in the suggestions. How to spot a fake Nike. I'm like, oh, okay, well, click it. Now, this is not a leather shoe. Now, I don't know if all Nikes are leathers. I have no idea. It's just, the all man-made materials. But I like the fact they're kind of, plasticky. They're not cloth. They're smooth, so they're a little more waterproof. And, well, they go, first thing to do, bend the shoe. If it feels like hard plastic, it's a fake. Really hard to bend, feels like hard plastic. The eyelets. Nike, I guess, use actual metal eyelets, kind of like Converse. These don't. They're just holes in the thing. So I'm like, okay, fake. I think another thing was they're splattered with what this person called the swoosh. Is this an actual technical term for this little checkmark Nike symbol? Is this called the swoosh? I don't know. It's like, well, the more swooshes there are, the more likely it's fake because they got in here to trying to get you. It's a Nike. It's real Nike. You're so distracted by this. I was half expecting this to be misspelled. And the thing that kind of, it looked, fake in the store because nothing on here except this little swoosh here is embroidered. It's all, I guess you can say, painted on. And even these check, I don't know if you can quite tell. There's like a check, striping here. It's, again, kind of painted on. It's like raised. So it's really, you can tell it's like a cheap shoe. But, what else did they say? If there's any, like, fraying or anything like that, it's probably fake. If the stitching is off any, it's probably a fake. But the stitching's good. It's put together nicely. It's not like it's falling apart, a piece of crap or anything like that. And it has, like, non-marking. So it's like, well... and it just goes... Oh, and the tag. If it's a real Nike, it would be a cloth tag. This feels like a Band-Aid. So... these are my official, genuine, fake Nike shoes. But they're also something about the insole. If it's there's some sort of special insole Nike uses that's like firm but bounces back. The sole has got a little squish to it, but it feels like a nice sturdy sole. So, which works good for me. I'm not too particularly picky about that. But, for me, they're still... if I move fast enough, maybe they'll think they're real Nikes. But I just like the way they looked. And I wore them, and they're comfortable. So. But when I was reading all that, and I'm like, wow, fake Nikes. And, of course, they had no idea if they were real or not. The people at Goodwill, that's why they marked them up, because they're Nike. So, it's $6 for a pair of shoes still isn't, bad. Cheap on sale for a normal pair of shoes is like $9. So, I have no problem with that because I like the shoe and they're comfortable. So that's the only criteria I give a rat's ass about. And Like I said, of course they wouldn't know they were fake Nikes. But I was, reading through it, and I'm kind of wondering, like, where did the people who originally buy this, did they realize they were fakes? I don't know, because there's very little wear on here. And, how much did they spend on them? Where do you... I can see going online and getting, like, fake Nikes, but are there stores that sell fake Nikes? I don't know. So, again, I'm kind of curious about the story behind the fake Nike here. So, I don't know. But I thought it was just a really neat-looking shoe. I don't care if it's fake or not. I just liked the shoe itself. Again, red, white, and black. I would have preferred a little more black than the white. I'm not too keen on this part being white. I would have liked the black to go maybe a little farther down. And maybe, like, this part be black, too, and just had a lot less, But again, it makes everything else kind of pop. So, I don't know. I like the shoe. So, so I just like laughing at myself, like, oop, bought a genuine pair of fake Nikes. But again, coming from the Goodwill, it just seems sort of appropriate that they be fake Nikes. I don't know. But I thought they were neat and they were comfy. Well, I guess that's it. It's the end of my super wonderful haul that was actually not really disturbed much. Well, no, that's a lie. Stupid, annoying people called me. Can you? Here's the front end of Kefren, just in case you're wondering what that looked like. And say hi. Yes, it's always this end that people usually see. Oh, yes, also, that red and white shirt, I pick it up. And it's just funny because I'm like, you knew they were a cat person. There was one one strand of cat hair, and it wasn't his. And I'm like, cat person had this. Okay. Yep. You have that pretty orange-yellow hair, too. And then I'm thinking afterwards, well, maybe it is his because I probably picked it up before, too. But it was a little different than your hair. It might have been a long-haired kitty. He might have been. Yep, he might. So that is that. Thank you for watching. Do comment, rate, subscribe, and hopefully by the time, since it's now officially spring, things warm up, maybe, hopefully, I'll get some more interesting videos out there that I can go someplace. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I hope. So I'm hoping to have some better content in the warmer weather. Otherwise, you're stuck with more boring crap. And I'm, you can tell how bad it's getting when I'm digging up year-old, very old videos to, put up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. So, still never did the air show one, so I don't know. Again, thank you for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I shall see you all next time. I had to get up and turn it off, darn it.